The House of Torres has found itself on the receiving end of fate's good fortune. Their humble origins as Jedikes of Lagudoro in northern Sardinia is no more, and now the White Tower that signifies the great family flies from Valencia to Tunis to Corsica. There are many powers greater than the Kingdom of Sardinia, but theirs has proven itself to stand the test of time for over 400 years. The family is a fertile one, and branches grow in Castalla to the west and Hellas in the east. Their relations have grown fiery with the Castallans, who allowed the annexation of Cordoba from Queen Cipriana. King Castoro II rules in the capital, a man known for good reign, a moderate disposition, and capabilities in war and diplomacy. The Raven King, as he is known by his people for the crows which follow him wherever he goes, unnerving most. Already, he has won a war against the Sajadeeds in North Africa, whose power has finally begun to wane. Many are saying it is the end of the medieval age, as across Italy and beyond new ideas are beginning to spread. Art and culture from the ancient world inform new thinking and radical changes to life and thought. Paintings and sculpture that make most but all but the darkest of heart feel riveted by emotions and inspiration. For Sardinia and its family, this is becoming a larger part of their lives, as despite a unique identity, they are influenced heavily by Italy. Rome itself has been a longtime friend and ally of Sardinia, but the father of King Castoro fought a war alongside his allies in Lombardy against God's voice on earth. Yet the Lord is forgiving, and so too is his church, with the bonds of friendship growing close once more. The House of Torres enters a new era, full of wonder, but also full of dangers. This is the 20th episode of a mega campaign and the first part of the EU4 portion, which will go through CK3, EU4, Victoria 3, Hearts of Iron, and Stellaris. Now, last week I went over a little bit of where we're at in EU4. Generally speaking, we're in a solid position. As you can see here, I've done a lot of save edits. I've also added a lot of mods. It will not be a generic new world. It will be the same continents. It'll be the same shapes. Most of the nations will be the same, but I did throw some fun things in there we're gonna find. Broke up Britain. They have a lot of vassals now. Same with Castile. Some of the bigger countries in Europe I split up a bit. Obviously France as well. I also saved Sweden, because I don't want the Paradox PDX gods to like find me in my sleep and stab me. So Sweden still exists and they'll be very strong. I promise. They're really strong and the best country in the world. So that being said, we're in a good position. So we do still have the Raven King, or Castoro II really, who was our leader at the end of CK3, a very strong man. Our heir is Rodolfo de Torres, who's infertile. For our queen consort, we have Torres of Torres, whose might is touched. Now, given that we're actually next to Genoa, we're in a really good position for trade, I do have to say. We're 33,000 soldiers, which is pretty good. So I converted also in 1400. I didn't go for the last 40 years. That does mean our tech is gonna start off at level 3. Also, I don't think we get our starting alliances, so let's look at that for a minute. We had Lombardy, obviously, and we are friendly with them, so we'll make an alliance with the Lombards. Britannia we were friendly with, but I guess we're now a rival. Lycia we were friends with. They're also rivals with us. Oddly enough, the papacy, very friendly with us. Right, well I guess we'll just have the Lombards as allies to begin with, so we'll see here. Diplomatic marriages and dynastic connections with the backbone of medieval politics, alliances and plots are built on the sacred union before God, but recently some nobles become open-minded in this regard when a pagan kingdom projects influence, namely Vladimir, who, yeah, the Tengri Russians. Ambitious Christian nobles are often eager to seek power even with heathens, be it trade connections or diplomatic marriage. We are apparently now a pious king, so we would not allow for that. Over the course of a century, intellectual life of the Italian peninsula has seen stronger and stronger influences from the knowledge rediscovered of the ancients, Greek and Roman writers, philosophers, and orators, from Plato to Cicero. The development has largely happened in the interest of the public good, that a well-educated populace might better safeguard our civilization than one could in the barbaric Middle Ages, separating us from those glorious times. These principles have become pervasive in our society and carries influence not just in philosophy and humanist teachings, but in art, architecture, law, and warfare. Over time, this will make our nation strong and our people indomitable in the realm of the temporal as well as the spiritual. As Sardinia Corsica looks to the past, Sardinia Corsica looks to the future. So the Renaissance is obviously going on in Italy. Again, a very interesting Italy. Genoa, Urbino, and Ferrara are all vassals of Castalla. Milan is also a vassal of Castalla, and Lombardy is not as powerful as they used to be. Tuscany only owns Siena, Spoleto, and then of course the Papal States, which now has the vassals of Tlemcen and Tunis. Let's go ahead and educate our heir. He's pretty young. He's only 9 years old. So we'll go ahead and begin an education campaign for him. We're going to give him a military education, specifically a martial one. France just released another vassal. They released Alencon. It's a very decentralized France. That's interesting. Rodolfo has been studying hard lately. It's beginning to show. You'll certainly improve his education progress. Nice. All right, let's sum a diet. The clergy, the nobility, or the burghers. Given we are a religious man, we'd work with the clergy, and they want us to have 100% relations with the Papal States. Given the Papal States are very friendly, we'll do that. Our father notably fought a war with the Papal States, but that's fine. Our heir's making more progress. Generally speaking here, I'm trying to think if we would grant any privileges. It'd probably be to the church, given we're so religious. But then again, we are a trading empire, so we might look into giving some to the burghers. Our army is pretty expensive. What I will do is I will get rid of half of our North African holdings army. We'll do that just to save some money. Well, our nation has plenty of opportunities for learning. One of our allies has invited Rodolfo to continue his studies abroad. This will surely benefit our heir's education and bring our countries closer together. He's going to do his Euro trip. Lovely. We'll get him a rail pass. We'll get him a backpack. We'll get him some condoms, and we'll send him on his way. So, well, Rodolfo's going to go on his Euro trip. A public building raised in a Renaissance style. At the first, the grand construction planned in Ducala, a marvelous building built of the finest architects, now stands ready. The people cannot wait to see the beautiful sights will follow. We'll go for market halls. Again, we're more trading focused. It appears that our heir's primary tutor, oh my gosh, was not quite forthcoming to us about his background. Instead of being a renowned scholar, as they originally claimed, they appear to have lied about their credentials. Their open-ended questions to Rodolfo were not to try and push him to think, but rather cover up the lack of knowledge on the subject. Fuck. With the new information, how should we proceed? We can't afford it, but we need to get him a new tutor, so we will. That's unfortunate. We had a con man in our court teaching our son. We did get that, wonderful. We got to 100 relations with the Pope, and the clergy are really happy with us now, so that's good. And we'll go ahead and get Marketplace. The Ming, of course, are number 1. The Great Bihar are number 2, who's in India, which I split up as well. Castalla is number 3. Britannia is number 4. 5 is the French. 6 is the Tamilakam. I think that's also in India. Yes, it is, in the south. The Fatmids are 7th. And the Chagatai, obviously the major heir to the Mongols, are over there. To better advance his education, Rodolfo has been visiting various military facilities within the capital, observing how each one works. We're going to reaffirm our old connections with the Pope and ally him, and secure ourselves a strong ally on the Italian mainland, as well as one potentially in the New World, given and North Africa. Ooh, who are they fighting right now? The Pope's at war with the Sahara. They're going deeper into Africa right now. Profiteering in Bastia. The citizens of Bastia have grown tired of the local influence of greedy Castalla's merchants that they claim are using unfair advantages to outcompete local businesses. That makes sense. Goddamn, they'll do anything. I swear. They demand that we step in to limit the influence of foreign traders. We'll do that. We obviously want to develop our trading center. Sassari, which is our capital, unfortunately has the fish trade good. I think? No! We have Olos! That's Castoro de Torres. We'd probably ally them, wouldn't we? We have 2 free Diplo slots. They're literally of our own dynasty. We only have 17, or we have a total of 34 trade power. We need another 70 to get control there. So this is a very alt history HRE. It's way bigger. Way bigger. The current emperor is the West Franconium. The elector states are Augsburg, Bavaria, Hesse, Bohemia, Meissen, Salzburg, and Westfalen. Expand the infrastructure to start off with, because that reduces development costs. Yes, it does. Yes, encourage development. We'll go for that. King Castoro II is going to be really focused on just kind of developing a modern Renaissance capital. We're going to upgrade our production then. I'm just going to keep working on production. We're trying to expand our olive exports. So we will get an alliance with our dynasty in Greece, Hellas, which is going to have a tough time trying to expand there given how strong Enotolikon is. We have the second, we're tied with Castalla. No, Britain has more actually. Britain has the most cardinals, followed by Castalla and us. Again, we're very religious. We're really heavily involved with the Pope. We're allies with him. So we'd probably give more privileges to the church realistically. So we'll go for that. Both diplomatic and aggressive attempts at Christianization failed to achieve religious unity in the continent. Thus the religious pressure while going both ways, is constantly affecting the mentality of Christian man. Disillusioned with the church's teachings, displeased with corruption of the holy, or just finding pagan doctrines such as polygamy and encouragement of personal wealth attractive, are all stimulating weak-spirited men to turn away from Christ. And so this is happening in Sardinia and Corsica as well. Let's go ahead and bump up our stability too. So what are our ideas? Castoro Sardinian. We have possible advisors, yearly corruption reduction, monarch skill when we get to max level. We have legitimacy. We have institutions. We have monthly autonomy change. We have morale of armies and recovery army morale speed. We have national unrest reduction, administrative free policies, and national manpower bonus. I think it's about time we try and fight another war with the Sajadeeds. They are quite powerful. They currently have 14,000 soldiers. And then their vassal has 5. So 19,000 in total. We will call the Pope into this war as well. So we will get claims upon the Sajadeeds regions here in the Maghreb, in Tunis. So there's a holy city there. We'll go for a commercial advisory board. In matters of commerce, the burghers are far more knowledgeable than the king. It would be folly not to make use of this advice to ensure that the wheels of the economy remain in motion. So basically, there's a council of traders and burghers who basically advise the king. That makes a lot of sense. We'll go for that. We are also very well trained. Our drill is up to 76. So the War of the Sajadeeds should be pretty easy to do. We have a large city now as well. That gives us a national tax modifier increase and a global trade modifier increases. One of the cardinals in Sardinia and Corsica has proven to be a skilled administrator and already provided useful advice to the king. At this point, making him a minister in our government would almost be a formality, but an important formality nonetheless, since this may grow more powerful yet. As a cardinal in our service would certainly lend us credibility with the Pope and strengthen our sentiment in Sardinia and Corsica as a Catholic nation, first and foremost. We do that. We're very religious. We're very close to the Pope. We're getting in a little deep with the Pope and the church, I do have to say. I'm a little worried about that. I do want to get a larger fleet. We just really need to get access to some money here. We weren't very wealthy when we left off on CK3, so it makes sense this would go a little bit slow here, I think. We have a bunch of military power to burn. I'm going to build up some of our levies in places that is useful. Okay, we have enough money. We're going to build that marketplace in Tunis to make the burghers happy so they can start trading more actively with North Africa. Makes sense. There's a lot of very valuable trade goods coming out of Asia from there at this time period. All right, I think that's about good. I think we're ready for a war in North Africa. Let's unmothball our fleet and bring it over. Our subjects have taken to telling tales and legends about an old ruler. Legends say that in Sardinia, Corsica's darkest hour, he will return to our nation, deliver it from evil. That'd definitely be King Liscandro, wouldn't it? Regardless of the truth of this statement, we can use this to ourselves as propaganda. We're gonna make like a giant statue of King Liscandro in the center of Lagodoro. That's what we're gonna do. All right, our armies are in North Africa. They're about ready. Alrighty. We're ready for another war with the Sajadeeds. We haven't fought one in, I think, around 2 decades now. We fought one when we were much younger and won it alongside our many allies. It was a tough war, if you remember. So, let's do it again. We're gonna take Kairouan. We'll call the Pope. He will join with us. We'll have to fight Algiers, Sangay, Ouagadougou, and of course the Sajadeeds. Our first war of EU4. Immediately, we're gonna occupy the Holy City, and then we'll take that fort in Tuteri. Wait till it's completely remobilized, and we're gonna go after their fleet, which isn't huge. But if we destroy their naval presence, we'll hopefully stop getting raided all the time, because my god. We're obviously getting sieged out, and so is the Pope over there on the western portion of Morocco, but that's fine. Golden era for Britannia. Man, they hit that early. And we got the siege. We'll take Castilla next, and then we'll send these guys to take Biskra. They've entirely sieged out our coast, but we've got their fleet blockaded in at Garb. We're just completely surrounding that port so they can't leave. So we don't have to worry about our trade lanes being hit. Oh, and they hit our navy. Hold on. We're in a war right now. All right, first naval battle of the game. They have heavy ships, though. Oh, fuck. We lost the galley there, but they retreated. I didn't realize they had heavy ships. My god, we need to get some, don't we? We did manage to hit the Algiers fleet on the way over. Oh, no, and they reinforced. We need to retreat this, don't we? Almost done with the siege here. Then we're gonna go on to their capital. That war with France is still going on too. France is losing, but they're holding their own a bit more now, it looks like. The big siege of their capital. And Tadla. This will end the war when we get it. We're gonna force a separate peace on Sangay if we can too here. No? France just got out of the war with Castile, and now they're at war with Britain. Oh my god, they can't catch a break, can they? Who declared that war? Britannic conquest of Chartres. We got their capital. Tadla has fallen. Oh, we need to take down the army of Algiers here. Where are the papal army? They're down here. Let's help them out. I want to defeat their army. We want a decisive defeat on the Sajadeeds here. It's not enough just to win. Here we go. We're going to catch them off. Oh, fuck. Not quite what I wanted there. That's going to be a little rough. Fuck. Oh, we got a bit of an advantage here. Come on. Big battle. No, Genoa! Genoa! God damn it! Oh, fuck. We gotta hope Tlemcen gets there. Oh, it won't be enough, will it? Genoa just watched us get slaughtered. Fuck, man. We're gonna remember that. Alright, after that battle, I guess we'll sue for peace then. I want to pillage their capital, too. Yeah. We can steal their military advisors as well. No, we can't. Well, I would rather pillage their capital. We got the peace. 82,000 good Christians killed in North Africa. That checks out. The CK3 crusades in North Africa were so deadly. 37,000 Muslims. Not a good ratio there. So we are going to go for city privileges. Let us improve the position of the cities by allowing them to develop themselves and become major centers of commerce. So this will give us option to make burgher autonomy. It gives a base production and minimum autonomy for 25 years in each province with a urban trade good. Restore stability. And if we defeat this revolt, we should be good for a while longer. We'll get the Catalonians at some point. Local nobility in Valencia are not satisfied with their granted privileges. They demand more rights and are willing to back this up with rebellion against the king. We're gonna send a diplomat to negotiate them to stall for time while we send our army. We've got a diplomat currently negotiating with the rebels. We're telling them all manner of things. Of course we're gonna listen to you. Of course we need to reform the system. We understand. We get it. And then 14,000 men walk off the ships weeks into negotiations. Unfortunately, the whole army was underfunded and routed, so that's not it. You want us to fight these people after traveling a week by boat? Go fuck yourself. Tell you what, pay us and we'll consider it. We'll send in the army and we will crush them. All right, we're gonna send half of our army to Barcelona. We're just gonna completely occupy the city and we're gonna work to completely push out the Castellan culture there. Cosmopolitan nobility. No, you are not marrying Tengri heathens. Absolutely not. Listen, I get it. Mongolian warrior women from Russia, I'm sure they're banging. I understand that to the nobles, but they're goddamn heathens. You may look at a woman from Vladimir and go, God damn, that's a Mongolian steppe woman who could absolutely just destroy me with her thighs. But listen, she's a heathen, so no, absolutely not. No marrying. They need to read the Bible more. They really do. It's a problem. See, the Lord says that lust is a cardinal sin, and you can clearly see it on display here. They need to go read the Bible more. That's what we do.